music in the background here?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, we're on break.
This is the Reality Radio Network on Telstar 5 Transponder 5 and on the internet at realityradionetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Quayle, and for over 10 years and thousands of hours of radio broadcasts, I've been warning and preparing individuals and families of the great perils that are now upon us by having interviews with some of the more interesting and controversial guests in the country. It benefits you to listen into my previous radio broadcasts, which are available by subscription to archiveondemand.com or by calling Steve Melching at 260-356-2611. Time is running out. The information you may gain could mean the difference between life and death. So once again, call Steve Melching at 260-356-2611. And
now back to Sherry Live.
Okay. So, yeah, I never hear that music to break off in time. So go ahead with what you were saying.
So the impact of what is at the airport can only be really felt on a personal visit. And the segments of the murals that you'll see in Alex Christopher's interview and also in Lynn Horowitz's book is nothing in comparison to standing before these murals yourself, because these murals are huge.
Yeah, and I heard it tells the plan. It just has this real creepy, eerie, and it kind of spells out their whole plan in pictures of exactly what they plan to do in the near future here.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there before your very eyes. And some people, I've gone out there several times specifically to, I had done some work out at the airport some years ago, and for some of the food service operators out there because of the business that I was in. But I had gone out there specifically to just look at things myself, to compare before my very eyes what I was seeing in Alex Christopher's book. And these murals that are referenced are just absolutely huge. There's, I believe, 3 huge murals. These are in the pass-through areas that go between the west and east side of the main terminal, the ticketing and check-in areas. And these murals are about 10 feet high and about 50 feet long.
Wow. Well, they're
and extremely colorful, and the artists that were chosen, the main artist, Leo Tanguma, and his helpers, these were not painted according to their artistic ideas. They were chosen for their artistic ability, but they were given an agenda to paint. And it would be very interesting to know what committee was put together to decide exactly how and what was going to be painted.
Yeah, and well, they've known for hundreds of years. They've been planning everything that's coming down in these last days, and they know full well exactly what's coming. And it's been said over and over that the Queen of England has bought up hundreds, even perhaps maybe thousands of acres in Colorado that they plan to, if they have to, bring the entire royal family over here. Have you heard anything about that?
That's true. That is true. In fact, definitely we're talking thousands of acres. We're talking tens of thousands of acres. We're talking major commercial developments all over the Denver metro area and elsewhere in the state.
Yeah, and she's not doing it in her name. She's doing
prime land in other areas. And she's doing this through front companies.
Now, do they plan on, using front companies? Because they know that a comet could come and hit the Atlantic, and if it hits the Atlantic, it's going to take out America's East Coast and also all of England.
Yep.
And if they have tunnels underneath the ocean, I mean, they could whip that family here within no time.
Absolutely. One of the main front companies that comes to mind right off the bat is Trizec. They merged with Han companies, which is major shopping center developers and owners. It's now called Trizec Han. They're headquartered out of Toronto. And another company is Olympia in York. These are front companies. These are outright owned by the Queen. And the Queen has major commercial operations here also through British Petroleum. British Petroleum has come into Colorado big time because they bought up Amoco. So all the Amoco stations out here have gradually turned over into BP.
Yeah, that's one of the dominant stations here in Ohio where I live is BP.
Yeah, that's all the Queen. That's the Queen. The royal family also owns Atlantic Richfield, Arco. They're the people that outright own the oil coming from the North Slope. They're the ones that own the pipeline, the Alaskan pipeline. They're the ones that are behind the technology that developed into the HARP project. That's all ARCO power technologies. That all directly relates to the Queen of England.
Well, let's talk about a hypothetical. Let's bring a hypothetical up. England's destroyed. They have the royal family here in Colorado. What happens from there? Now, do they plan on taking over the rulership here in the States, because we're just a subsidiary of theirs? We've never been really independent of them.
Well, no, that's true. We've never been independent with them. That this whole thing called the United States of America, this thing called the Constitution, has turned out to be an absolute total fraud.
And the slave tax, the IRS, is owned by Britain. We've been paying Britain. Our taxes.
Well, absolutely, but the thing is that the Federal Reserve is not controlled by the Queen. It's not controlled by the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds. It's actually controlled by the Black Pope.
And so it's all just a circle. It's an endless circle. It's the Vatican. It's the monarchy.
It's an endless circle, but, at some point in time, the circle comes to an end. It comes back around, and in order to draw a circle, you have to have a center point. And that center point is the Black Pope.
And everything goes back to the Satan seat at the Black Pope of the Vatican. Everything goes back.
Everything goes back.
The Ukrainians today are the ones in charge.
The British are controlled by the Black Pope, just the same everything else on this planet, and all events on this planet are controlled by the Black Pope.
Yep.
And the influx of the Jesuits in the Denver metro area has just been astounding over these past 20 years. Now, I've been out here for 34 years, and the Jesuits have been busy opening up schools all over the place. A major university is Regis University here in Denver. Major Jesuit school.
Now let's tie in, because we talked last week when I was talking to you. We've been chatting back and forth in emails for a while now, and I mentioned to you you had the address of the chapel or the castle that everybody meets in once a year.
That's known as Tweet Kimball's Castle.
And what this is what I mean by everybody. I mean the Bushes, Dick Cheney, anybody who's anybody, a who of leaders. They meet at this place once a year and make satanic sacrifice rituals there.
Yes, but the thing is that this castle has been in existence for over 50 years, and Tweet Kimball, who passed away about 5 years ago, her first husband is the one that gifted her with that castle. It was built, and then it was furnished with all sorts of very high-end antiques from England, from France, from Scotland. Her first husband was Merritt Ruddick, and he was a State Department official, and he was also a very obscure CIA official. And the involvement with the CIA and Nazis through Project Paperclip, having involvement with meetings at that castle, which is just about a mile north of the little town of Sedalia, which Sedalia is about 20 miles south of Denver. The meetings that have been going on there since the late 40s, early 50s has just been astounding. The people that go there, they don't take black limousines and go up the road to the castle. Everything is done underground.
Right, they have their own little subways underground.
Yep.
That's what I've been trying to say over and over and over to people, is that, it doesn't matter what they say. These leaders get on TV and they quote scripture and they go to church for the cameras and they quote that they love God, and in the back rooms they're sacrificing babies, they're taking oaths to Satan, they're trying to destroy America, they're going to be coming after the Christians and patriots to destroy them so they can set up this one-world government for Lucifer to run. Yeah. People don't see it coming. They always think it's way in the future.
In most people's minds, Satan or Lucifer is just a concept that's talked about in the Bible, and they have absolutely no clue. They have no involvement with evil, because they keep their eyes closed, they keep their ears closed, they keep their mouths shut, and so they don't question anything.
And it doesn't matter what party. There really is no two parties.
Talk about Lucifer. That's only done during church service.